Hi, fourth graders. Welcome to a new unit in social studies. This is unit 2 and the focus is political science. I know it's kind of funny to have the word science in your social studies unit, but this is the political science. I'm going to click our next slide. These are the standards that will be covered, but I'm going to read them on the next slide. I made them a little bit more friendlier for you guys as outcomes and goals. So by the end of this unit, you'll be able to, I can explain how various forms of civic action contribute to the well-being of the community, such as running for political office, voting, signing a petition, and speaking at hearings. I can describe instances of cooperation and interdependence among individuals, groups, and nations. I can give examples and explain how the media may influence opinions, choices, and decision regarding current events. And remember, keep in mind that your outcomes and goals are end of the unit. So let's move on to our next slide. Your unit writing masterpiece, and this will be broken up throughout the weeks of the unit. You will definitely want to stay on track as you work forward with like your unit 1, your week 1 writing, week 2 writing, because they build off of each other. Within this unit, you will be writing a persuasive speech. Your speech will be on any topic of your choice. You are the expert on your topic, and throughout your speech, you will be convincing us to agree with you and your beliefs around your idea. Once your speech is written, you will be presenting this speech. The next slide in our presentation is vocabulary. This link, and I'll let you guys click it and access that on your own and in your own time, but this is a great link, great tool for you to access a lot of key vocabulary that will come up throughout this unit and get to know the meaning of those words. So I would definitely revisit the vocabulary screen as you work your way through the unit. Week 1 instructions. So this week you will be using the tool Discovery Education. Please be sure when you log into your Discovery Education that you are logging into the Waukesha Discovery Education, where you'll use your school username and password. Search for the video titled Federal Government, and this is what it looks like. So you're looking for this image, and it's about 4 minutes and 9 seconds, and you're going to watch that. You're going to create a Google Doc titled Governments. Add a table that's 3 by 2, and I actually include a sample of the table in the next slide for you. Label your table with federal, state, and city governments across the top. Underneath the federal, list things that they're responsible for. Then once you finish that, you'll search for the video, the next one, which is the state government, and then the city. So you've got your 3. Now these 2 are a little longer than the federal, and you do know there's other tools out there as well as for researching federal government, some of the ones that even showed up in your last unit. And then you will fill in the actions of the city and the state. So below your chart, below your table, in the same document, city governments, you'll answer A, B, and C. In what ways does the government separate powers? Do you think that the federal government would be able to control a city? Like, what are your thoughts? Do you think it would work? Why or why not? And do you think a city government could run the country? And why or why not? The next slide is that sample of the table that I told you. So this is what you're creating in your Google Doc, the 3 by 2 table. And so you've got your 2 and then 3 across. And then your reflection questions are there. All right. And then your week 1 math connection. This week you'll create a table just as you did for comparing the 3 tiers of government. So that same table that you make here, you'll make for your math. And you'll title it Math Week 1 Social Studies. Create a table and compare the differences of the 3 terms. The 3 terms are standard form, expanded form, and word form. List the definition in your own words of each math term. Show an example of how the number looks for each term. This tutorial will help guide you and teach you about the terms. So here is a video that you will watch that will kind of build up that background knowledge. If you're sitting here right now saying, I don't know standard form, expanded form, and word form, then you want to start with the video before you create your own Google Doc and giving your own examples. And your literacy connection for week 1. You're going to start here. These are instructional videos, and they're going to help you with just understanding what persuasive writing is. Here's a series of 6 videos. Please watch them all, but you can break them up throughout the unit. You also may want to watch them more than once throughout the unit. So I definitely would take it slow, maybe even have, some paper and pen next to you and take some notes, key points, so you can actually use, what you learn in the videos in your own writing. And be sure that you're actually really watching your videos for learning. Your week 1 literacy connection. This week you'll begin to think of ideas that you could do your speech on. Keep in mind, a persuasive speech stems from passion and knowledge about a topic. For example, if you're passionate about organic eating and you practice it in your life, you most likely will know a lot about it. That would be a good idea for a persuasive speech. You have to think about yourself and your interests and hobbies and passions. What I'd like you to do is view this TED Talk, and you'll click the link here and you'll watch the TED Talk. The idea is that it gets you thinking. It most likely is something you have not thought about. It naturally will persuade your thinking. It got me thinking and persuaded me to encourage my own children to pick a future job which will be sure to be around in years to come. List what you could do your speech on. So you'll create a list of all the things that you could do your speech on in a Google document titled Persuasive Speech. Your first task is to generate that list of possible ideas for you to do your speech on. And remember, this is just a list, and you can then pick from the list what you'll pick. And if you're not sure even where to start, ask family members, what do you think would be a good persuasive speech for me? Because sometimes other people in your family can point out what you're really good at. You might be so good at it you don't even think about it anymore. And if you do need any further help for ideas, you can always talk to your classroom teacher. I know it's a lot this first week. It's kicking off a new unit. Take your time and have fun with it as well. Let your teacher know if you have any questions as you work.